I had a dream. Actually, it was a nightmare. The clouds had gathered over Nigeria and the signs were ominous. There was chaos and confusion everywhere. Other than the usual killings, kidnappings, banditry, Boko Haram corruption, bad economy, unemployment, hunger, and ethno-religious division, COVID-19 had joined the party. The world economy was taking a beating and governments all over the world were dishing out subsidies, grants, and palliatives to boost the economy and support the weak and poor. In Nigeria, the government claimed to be doing the same thing also for our people and promised hundreds of billions of naira as loans and incentives to boost critical sectors. They also claimed to have spent billions of naira in one day alone on a feeding program for students, even though schools were closed. In this nightmare, I was in a crowded hall with a mixed crowd. Government ministers, governors, politicians, bank CEOs, captains of industry. The masses were also properly represented, and the whole place was quiet. You could have heard a pin drop because some minister had just announced that electricity tariffs had increased and that the price of petroleum products had also increased, as the Nigerian government had chosen to fully deregulate the petroleum industry. I could see everyone trying to process this information when some journalists asked the Minister of Information a question. He said, "Who is bankrolling this gathering?" OMG. You should have seen the minister's face. He completely lost it. He said, "How dare you ask me such a stupid and nonsensical question? Do you know who I am? I am a two-time minister. I am the opposition spokesman who sold you all sorts of stories about the previous government, and you bought it and voted us in. And now you think I have the capacity to actually tell you the truth? I was part of demonstrations when the previous government tried to increase the price of petroleum products, and we brought this country to a standstill. Please don't ever try this rubbish again." Then the whole hall erupted. It was like a scene from the biblical Tower of Babel. I was hearing people saying and asking all sorts of questions, and nobody could understand anyone because they were all speaking and screaming at the top of their voices. Some people who I assumed to be IPOB were shouting, "This is a zoo! This is a zoo! Nigeria is a zoo! Let us go our own way." Some were screaming, "Where is the president? Where is our president? This is not what he promised us." He led protests against this while some others screamed, "Please leave our president alone. You people hate us Fulani for no reason. It's our turn now, and this is the best government ever." Some people were shouting that the country will have more money to spend on critical projects because of the price increase, while some screamed that there will be more money to be stolen. I looked at the front of the hall, and all the big men, CEOs of banks and industries, movers and shakers, were the only ones quiet. I don't know if they were confused or if they were happy. Then at the back of the hall, I saw a group of women and children crying. They said they had not eaten in days and managed to borrow some money to come to this gathering because they were promised some food and money to solve their problems. They now got here to find out that the people who are supposed to provide solutions to them are more confused than they are. Worse still, based on the minister's announcement, the price of transport had just increased. How were they supposed to go back home? They said a bag of rice was now between 24,000 and 31,000 naira. Other food prices had also gone up. Someone said a concrete block had just increased from 190 naira to 220 naira. Then some pastors started screaming, "You are here talking about the price of rice when this government is trying to use karma to take over my church. I will make some heavenly and deadly declarations against this government if they come near my church." Another person was talking about Ruga and water bill. Then someone started screaming, "Are you sure the president knows what's going on? It's not possible that he's aware." Then some people said a committee should be set up of eminent persons to go and tell the president, but they all refused. They said they were afraid of DSS. Then someone asked, why can't his ministers tell him? And all his ministers just started looking at their phones. I noticed that some of them were playing Candy Crush. At that point, I saw someone from my village who has had a long history of enmity with my family, clearing his throat and saying, Ndebanye, I propose we send Dumebi on this very important mission. That's when I woke up from this nightmare. My family and I are now in Ghana on a business trip, even though I hear people saying we have run away. If you saw your enemy in a dream sending you on a suicide mission, won't you also run?
At least we would have allowed this year to pass so that people can come back to their senses, so people can recover themselves. There are people who have not even recovered from the coronavirus. Business are not moving, nothing is working. People are, struggling to eat. And then you are increasing fuel. So where do you want people to go? Where do you want people to do? What are they doing with all this money? You are increasing fuel. You are still borrowing. What are you doing with all this?
I think